So we're reaching the conclusion of this weekend retreat. The topic is different this morning. For those who weren't here yesterday, we were all scared by snakes and ropes, but we had a wonderful time and a very thought-provoking topic. A non-existing snake, yes. Yeah. But a real rope, that's the main thing. Anyhow, the topic this morning is becoming happy. And for those who weren't here yesterday, our guest speaker, of course, is Swami Yogatmananda ji. He's the head of our Vedanta Society of Providence, and very, very dear and beloved sadhu who comes here not often enough, but we're very happy whenever he comes here. And he will be here tonight, tomorrow night also. So we'll have satsang while he's here. And the good news, Monday night, is that the Panchadashi class will be cancelled. So we'll have.
Maharaj, keep that,
Oh, it's a horrible one. Yeah.
Listen on that.
Huh?
Yeah, it will be nice you sleep at that class, and then so it will be nice for me to learn something.
Yeah. It would be nice. It would be nice for me to learn something also. No, we'll take a break from that. So anyhow, Maharaj, please.
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव Thou art my loving mother, my caring father. Thou art my learning. Thou art my wealth. Thou art my everything. Dear friends, I am always very happy to be here. Yeah, I never exactly figure out whether I am going to be too loud or too soft or what. So, okay, thank you. So, at this very serene, beautiful, devotion-inspiring place, and with such loving two Swamis who in spite of my, defects, keep on inviting me again and again, hoping that one day I will become better. So it is. Yes, hope keeps us going on, so it is. So many thanks, and all the devotees here, they are very sincere people. They want to get their life illumined and want to become happy. That is the primary desire for everyone, to become happy. Not only human beings, even all creatures, they crave for happiness. And yet, we see that the world is full of misery, lack of happiness is there everywhere. Buddha told that this is the first truth, first noble truth that he taught, that everything is suffering. That birth is suffering, growth is suffering, getting certain things is suffering, not getting certain things is also suffering. All is suffering. And yet we strive to our best ability to become happy. I have not found anyone who says, I will strive to get suffering. Enough already is there, and we have to go to get happiness. And yet, we don't get it. And there comes the, science, science and technology. When you do think in a right manner, then it succeeds. If you go about it in an unscientific, wrong way, then you fail. Just a common example. If you have a screw and you want to take it out, the instinct would be to pull it. Pull hard. It may not come out at all. Or even if it comes out after hard work, it will spoil that place, that hole. But if you know the technique, just use a screwdriver, in a jiffy, it gets taken out. So we need to know how to become happy. Then we will be very happy. Otherwise, we want happiness, but don't get it. This is how the state of an ignorant person is. Looking for happiness, never getting it. I was taken aback, and very much I appreciated that sentence. When, before coming to US, I was just going through the American political system and the Declaration of Independence and all that. And that statement there in the Declaration of Independence, that it is mentioned there, we believe that we have some unalienable rights. Right to life, right to liberty, and right to pursuit of happiness. Not happiness. It didn't say that right to pursue life, right to pursue liberty. They were said right to life, right to liberty. But when it came to happiness, this idea, pursuit of happiness, because happiness, how can you say right, We live, we have certain liberty, agreed. But pursuit of happiness, it is, we pursue it. That is only what is in our hands. The maximum right that we can claim is that pursuit of happiness. So, whatever we see around, we feel that that is going to bring happiness to me. And we strive for that. And while we are going after it, we feel, hey, when I get that, I will feel happy. We keep hope. We wait, well, let me get it, then it will all be hunky-dory. It is, therefore, that Urdu poetry is there, जो मज़ा इंतज़ार में है वो वस्ले यार में नहीं. Means that fun, that joy that one gets in hoping for, that is not there when you actually get it. It is a common experience. In one of the plays of famous playwrights, that it is, I forget the name. It is, he was a student of Bhagavad Gita, a British playwright. Anybody? No, not George Bernard Shaw. Somebody He has written some nice plays. But anyway, that has become a kind of norm for me. I remember it before I am to tell, and I remember after I have said. So it is, but the statement is important that one of the characters in that play says that it is we like a thing only till we get it. We long for it. But when we get it, we don't want it. We realize that we were looking for something else. And this is not what we were looking for. So this is again, therefore, the pursuit of happiness continues. It is not possible to actually get happiness. A wise person sees that it is not the right way. I have made a few attempts. Now I should learn from that in this way the happiness cannot be attained. That is learning from experience. Like it is that famous anecdote of Thomas Alva Edison, that he was making these electric bulbs, father of all this, the electric equipment that we are using. So he was making bulbs and then not working. Oh, again try some other way. And he made, say supposedly, more than 100 experiments, and then finally one succeeded. Then some said to him, so all other earlier efforts that you took, they were waste. He said, no, each of them taught me that the bulb cannot be made in this way. Move from that. So that is the utility of experience. That experience teaches us, a great teacher, provided we have the capacity to learn. And unfortunately, most of us do not have that capacity to learn from experiments. So the teachers of experiment, teachers come and go without our getting educated, without our getting that learning. That, we get experiences of going to get something for happiness. In hot pursuit of happiness, we go to get it. But don't get happiness. We get that thing, but not the happiness. And when this happens a few times, first time you may think that I probably made a mistake there, but this time I will succeed. I will make a more concerted effort. And then if I get this object, I will be so happy. Makes again an effort. Again fails. Now that experience should teach that this is not the way to get happiness. There is a basic mistake. I am not thinking. I am going by the animal instinct. There is a difference between animal instinct and human thinking. You can read a very nice, the lecture is not exactly titled like that, but in that lecture, the Swami Vivekananda gives the description of these three things: instinct, reason, and intuition. That intuition is rare. Many times the instinct gets called as intuition. One doctor, a very expert doctor. He would look at the patient, and then would just somehow it would dawn in him that this is the problem that the patient has, and it would be all right always. Other things, he said that I check everything just to make sure, that's all. But when I looked at the patient at one site, I got the diagnosis ready. And some said, wow, this is a great intuition. But he was a student of Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna. He said, no, don't use that word. This is a developed instinct and not intuition. Having done the same thing many times, now it has become instinctive. It is not intuition. Instinct is below reason. That is why although animals, they have great instincts. For example, human beings do not have that smell capability of a dog. It is instinctive for dog to recognize a person or any object by just smell. Human beings cannot do that. It is, our sense of smell is very limited. Dogs have that sense. There is an incident that happened that once I was coming back from Australia, and then just as we were about to deboard, the announcement was made that the flight will be landing in a few minutes. And then we were given a food packet. I was already full, so I did not even open it and put it in my jacket pocket. And then when I got down, I was made to, go, all others are standing in line, I was also, but when my turn came, I was told, go to other line. And there also, I asked this question again, have you filled your bags yourself? I said, yes. Are you sure you are not carrying any fresh fruits or seeds or any that is prohibited to bring? I said, no, I am not carrying anything. And then they opened my bag, did not find anything. Then still I was sent to another the counter, go there. They again took out, put some that swab inside and checked everything, if there is anything. And then they thought that, the dog might have made a mistake, because it was all indicated. I was flagged by a dog. So dog might have made a mistake here. And so I just walked through. And then our Vedananda was there at San Francisco to receive me. And he was waiting for a long time, because all this took long time. And I was also feeling hungry, and I suddenly remembered he was also feeling hungry. Said, okay, I have something that was given, so let us eat that. And I took out in my jacket, there was a banana and an apple. And the dog was not wrong at all. Got a bad name, but the dog was right. What Swamiji says there is that instinct is unfailing, but its scope is very limited. Rationality fails many times, because rationality requires lot of pondering, lot of thinking, warding off some of the wrong conclusions that one can lead to. The common mistake in logic, our Swami is a PhD in philosophy, so it is that a fish swims and Jim swims. So Jim is fish. No, Jim is not fish. So logic can lead to such mistakes if we are not careful about it. This fish example very ordinary, but we commit such mistakes in exercising logic. So therefore, logic is fallible. but logic has great scope compared to the scope of the instinct. So, in following rationality and logic, we may be wrong sometimes, but then this scope being next to infinite, see that how great this progress human beings have made. Many such creatures, I point to the history of this evolution. So many creatures like cockroaches and mosquitoes and mice, they had been here on this planet long before human beings came and may survive even after human race is gone. But they live in the same way. They do not have that evolution as within that species. So they may evolve into another species, but within that species, they do not evolve in their lifestyle. Imagine human beings, how they manipulated nature. And in this hall you won't find a single thing. And friends, I am truthful, no exaggeration. You won't find a single thing that has come here just naturally. All, even the small things. I am not speaking about this technologically advanced thing. Simple, this simple clothing, a uttari, a chadar. That is, you may buy it for a couple of dollars maybe. How much textile technology has gone into it? How much chemical engineering has gone into it? See, I put it in hot water, the color doesn't go. It is getting dried in sun, nothing happens. And is lasting, it is with me for, before I came to US. I had it with me, and now also I can use it. And maybe I would die. I don't know how many years I am going to survive, but this cloth may still remain. So you can imagine, that how much technology has gone into this. Nothing, no natural thing you will find here. So, this is human being that develops things with rationality. That is what is science and technology, development of rationality. And again, the idea is to become more and more happy. Here we are not finding much happiness. Let us go to moon or Mars. So technology is developed so that, already there are, who is giving you that ticket to space? Elon Musk, yeah. So you can buy it, and people are already buying to become happy. That is, so this is all for becoming happy. Do we really have become happy? See, I was telling there that all psychologists, they are having roaring practice, What does it show? People are not happy. They are suffering with depression and the suicidal tendencies, anger against somebody. One devotee psychologist, she was telling about one of her clients that he is full of anger about he is running some kind of a business, and he has many employees, and he is angry with all those employees all the time. And all that he does when he comes for a counseling session is keeps on just venting his anger, that they are good for nothing, and they don't come on time, they don't do work properly. and so forth. So, is this business bringing him happiness or suffering? The answer is obvious. And yet, he is doing it not to become unhappy, but to become happy. So, we all do things to become happy, but we don't know how to become happy. It is a very important thing how to become happy. I go to the objects to get happiness from that. And that is the mistake I commit. I do that mistake. It should immediately tell us, man, we were singing this nice opening song about song is there, the word Vivek comes as this thing, adoration of Vivekananda. But it is also the tendency to discern, to discriminate that what is right, what is not right. That discerning tendency, that is how he got the name Vivekananda. It is that he could see what is permanent, what is impermanent. Nothing could deceive him. Thakur presented him that, I have got these 8 these special powers that by which you can achieve almost anything in this realm of this worldly things. Anything you can achieve. I got these powers, but I don't have any use for them. If you want, I can give them to you. Think, Sri Ramakrishna is giving this proposal. Naren, later Vivekananda knew that Sri Ramakrishna can actually give. He has and he has the capability of actually giving. It is not like a drunkard saying that, I will sell you Washington Bridge. That is not that meaningless, So it is, but that was not what Sri Ramakrishna was giving. He has those and could give to Narendra. Then Narendra paused. That did not give immediate answer. That is that Adishwarananda's joke about that philosopher is that 2 people were just going in a balloon, and due to wind now the balloon, they could not get the direction. So they wanted to know, after all, where we are. So they brought where they saw 2 people walking, that brought down 1 person, not 2 people. These were 2 people in the balloon. So they got the balloon down and asked, where are we? And the man said that you are in a balloon. So they again took off, and then one of them said, this fellow must be a philosopher. How do you know? Because he did not immediately give answer. He pondered for a second. He pondered first. That is what philosophers, they would not immediately blurt out with an instinctive reply. No, let me think about it. So the fellow thought for a minute. And then what he said is accurate, perfectly correct. No fault with it. We are in the balloon, that is what he said. He said perfectly right. What he said was perfectly correct and perfectly useless. So that is how the philosophers are known to answer the questions. That it is perfectly correct and perfectly useless. So usually they are what are called tautologies. That the thing is just restated differently, that's all. So that is how Narendra gave it as thought for a second and asked See, that is the very steady mind. If you, Patanjali says, Swami Vivekananda wrote it in Raj Yoga, that if you jump to conclusion, that is the sign of a weak mind. You quickly jump to conclusion. No, ponder. So Narendra pondered and asked, will this help in God realization? Sri Ramakrishna says, well, not for God realization, but after God realization, if you want to spread the message, then they may come handy, they will be helpful. And Narendra replies, no, I don't want them. It is, see how much that mind was full of what is called viveka, the discerning power. I don't want it. My goal is God realization. I don't want anything else that doesn't help it. Afterwards it may help. Why should I think of it now? Somebody else like us would say, okay, let me have it later on, I may not find afterwards. Many become swamis. I have met many young people, not that they actually became swamis, but they came to join the order. Why do you want to be? I want to become like Vivekananda and give all that world-shaking lectures like him. So such people would say, okay, those powers will help me afterwards, let me get them now, because later on they may not be available. But Vivekananda saw that no, they are harmful if I have them now. So this is how one should discern. Find out, to get happiness, first I must find where the happiness is. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Yeah. Say if you want milk, where do you go? Where the milk is available, say grocery shop. You don't go to a barber's shop to get milk there. That's the wrong thing to go to. First one must discern. Find out where is happiness coming from, and then proceed. That is a proper thoughtful approach. Where the happiness is. I want to become happy. Absolutely no two opinions on that. All of us want to become happy. Do we proceed logically? No, we proceed instinctively, like animals. That, immediately when you see in Taittiriya Upanishad, it is described the levels of this happiness, that how that the very sight of something pleasurable makes you feel, you must grab it. This is going to give you all happiness. And you rush towards it without thinking. So, it is that is what human beings do. They do not ask this simple, straightforward, logical question. It is, as the time is passing on, I am getting more and more disillusioned by all those who call themselves intellectuals. They do not exercise the intellect in these simple things. Is happiness in that object? No. Then why are you rushing to get happiness from there? Don't you think that it is like rushing to a barber's shop to get a gallon of milk? It is as wrong as that. But they have nothing of it. They say, well, I am PhD in logic, It is, wow, wonderful. That reminded that story, one got, first rank, first prize. He won the gold medal in this memory test. And the parents were very happy when the boy came back home. What did they ask you in that memory test? Oh, I forgot. So, that is that kind of, our expertise in logic. We don't apply it at the most necessary things that requires us to, we require happiness, so apply this. Buddha did it the best. That the problem is suffering. So where the suffering comes from, and if that is eradicated, the suffering will go. It is all just logical. There is nothing super sensus in this. Many things, the super sensus comes at a later stage. Most of our spiritual quest can be carried on at this logical level. That we will see where the super sensus comes at, that it is, but logic is enough to tell us that these are certainly not the ways to become happy. That there is no happiness in that. How did you get it? There is that famous story of that Sufi Saint Rabia, that she and another companion, and they were doing spiritual practice together, and then that companion got a little bored and said, "Oh, today I am going to that one nice dance concert, music concert is there, I am going there for that. What this sadhana, I am feeling a little bored." And then he went there. When he came back, he saw in the courtyard that Rabia was looking for some earring, or she said, "That earring, I am looking for it in the courtyard." And then he said, "Okay, I will also help you in trying to find it out." For a long time, both of them searched every nook and corner of the courtyard. The ring was not found. He asked then Rabia that, "Are you sure that you dropped it here in the courtyard?" Rabia, with a stony face, said, "No, I have kept it in the room there." "And then why are you making us, you spent such your time, my time also, and you know all the time that you have not dropped it here, you had kept it in the..." And Rabia asked the question, "Had you kept happiness there, that you went to get it from there, in that concert? You did not keep happiness there, and so why did you get there? You knew that it is not kept there. Why did you go there to get happiness?" Yeah, what a important question. Has happiness been kept in any object? And the logical answer and the action that would follow that logic should be, no, it is not in any object. It is in this self. It is in this self. So the direction of the search has to be changed. That it is this, come back to this, what is called in the Vedanta terms, nivritti. There is pravritti, to run after many things. And it is a good training, nothing wrong in that. And then there is nivritti, that, since that joy is not there, and yet I am feeling it is Must be happiness, otherwise how do I have the desire to become happy? There must be happiness somewhere. And since it is not out there, where can it be? No brainer, isn't it? It is right inside. Now you therefore turn the direction to realize the goal. And you see these sages and saints, they have gotten. This is another way that you can look at it, that I didn't get it by running outside, but this man got it. This man or this woman got it. How did they get it? It is they realized the self and thus became happy, because that is the storehouse of happiness. Another thing about happiness is, can we fix a quantity for it? That I want this much happiness. Can we quantify it? That I don't want more than that. Is it possible to think like that? We always, about such things, we want infinite happiness. And then this self is happiness itself. You don't have to become happy. You are, in your essence, happiness itself. And by just turning the direction, you can sense it more and more. It is just like, I have to speak in analogies, so that there is no other way. If there is a very fragrant incense stick is burning, you are getting the fragrance, but you are not seeing it. Now, you want to see, you want to get more fragrance, you want to know how it is. And so you start going in that direction where the smell is coming from. Sometimes it may be opposite, because the door in your room might be open in the opposite direction where the incense stick is. So in that direction when you go, you see what happens. You are going away from the source of the fragrance. So your level of sensing fragrance will become less and less. Less and less fragrance will come to you. And what does it tell you? Your direction is what? Right or wrong? Say loudly, wrong, It is, that helps me, in lecture. If you respond loudly, then, it is wrong. Your GPS shows you if you are driving towards a destination, like from some people live in Germantown, from Germantown to Silver Spring. Now initially it shows that the distance is say 25 miles. And if after you drive for 10 miles, if it is showing that the distance is 35 miles, then what do you conclude? Wrong direction, exactly, thank you. It is. And when you see that the distance is reducing, 25 miles, I drove for 15 minutes, now it is showing 15 miles. So I am on the correct path. So, here also you can see that the more you move towards the self-realization or God-realization, more you come closer to God, the more joy, more happiness will start manifesting in your life for sure. No doubt about it, friends. And if you keep on going in the opposite direction, more sorrow. You will get lot of PhDs, Each PhD, as Sri Ramakrishna used to say, it is not pass, it is pash, means a bondage. Pash, there is a pun on this word. Pass means somebody would say that I have this 4 exams passed, 6 exams passed or whatever. But Sri Ramakrishna said that it is pash, it is a bondage. Actually, that is so true, friends. And that is why Narendranath once said that it will be very good if I forget whatever all that I have learned. Because it is all the education and learning of that which is unreal, which comes and goes. It is impermanent. So, that kind of knowledge binds us. That is why Sri Ramakrishna always said, give up I and mine. You can continue in the householder's life, but give up I and mine. Work like a nanny. And you want to, that rear up your children. Yeah, a nanny does that job. But nanny, the advantage the nanny has is that no I and mine about those children. In fact, nanny brings up them better because nanny does not impose her own ideas and her own goals on the children. So like that, practice no I and mine. When I say something is mine, if you notice carefully, you will see anything that you think as mine and hold it, that becomes your bondage. That becomes the bondage. You did, and that is why, the bondage comes instantaneously there. In the, suppose you commit some theft, and then you are able to hoodwink the police, then you may not get caught and you will not be sent to prison. Or even if you get the prison term, it will be, after maybe 6 months and so forth, it will be done. But this becomes a life imprisonment, that say something is mine. Because it is actually a theft. It all belongs to God, isn't it? We all theoretically know it. It all belongs to God. And then if I am appropriating something that does not belong to me, what is it? Isn't it theft? What? Say loudly. Yes. It is theft. Agreed? If it is theft. And so you will be imprisoned, punished, put under bondage. And that decision comes instantaneously by your action. No other court is necessary. Your action itself binds you. That you said, mine, okay, that is yours. Come on, this rope is tied around you. So that is how we become a bundle of bondage. And an imprisoned fellow is not happy. It is because this bondage kills happiness. The happiness is in freedom. So one has to go in the right direction. Now it comes to the spirituality. Now we have to step out of the realm of reasoning and logic. That the self cannot be caught in logic. It is that requires now Shraddha or faith. It is there. It is there. And it is the source of happiness. As you perform the spiritual practice, the sadhana, more you feel it, the more happy your life becomes. How much happy will you become So there is in Upanishads, it comes in Taittiriya Upanishad, in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also, that they started measuring happiness. That is science, isn't it? Science means measurement, quantification. So therefore once I read a very nice statement, I love it, that it is quantity is human, quality is divine. It is that how much happiness shall I get? How much, say, our worldly happiness and the divine happiness. Somebody who realizes the truth, the words used there are nice. Shrotriyam brahmanishtam, Shrotri akahamata, akamahataha, Shrotriyascha akamahatasya, that he has understood the significance of the scriptures, Shrotriya, and given up, therefore, all desires. So, such a person's happiness, how much it is, so they decided to have a unit to measure. For measurement, you need to have unit. And when you want to measure, say, for example, a distance between Earth and some distant star. You cannot measure it, with your inches. No, you have to have a big measuring unit like light years. So it is, you measure it in light years. So you need to measure the happiness, infinite looking happiness of this Shrotriya Akamhata, this person who has realized self. So they made a unit. Suppose युवा स्यात् साधु युवाध्यायकः आशिष्ठो दृढिष्ठो बलिष्ठः तस्य यं सर्वा पृथिवी वित्तस्य पूर्णा स्यात्. A very healthy person, young person, powerful, all the organs are full of energy. Such a young person has been given this whole earth full of all enjoyments for one's enjoyment. That is the unit, one human unit. That is not, more than that a human being cannot think. So this is a human unit of happiness. And it says that Shrotriyasya cha kamahatasya, that is already there, the one who has given up all desires and is established in the self, that person already has it. Okay, 100 times that. Oh, that still that person has already got it. Shrotriyasya cha akamahatasya. Okay, again 100%, 100 times of that. Still, that is there. So 7 times it is done there. Deva Gandharvanam and up to Brahma. That is. And that also this fellow has. Now ultimately you become tired of measuring, isn't it? How much then it is? Sages are asked, how much is that happiness then? Come on, you tell. How much will that be? It is mind-boggling. That how much it is. The sages, as it were, smiled. Sages just smiled. How can you measure, say, a glass of real water by measuring the mirage water? Are they comparable? Shankaracharya comments there that they are just the appearances, the shadows of happiness. They are not real happiness at all. Whereas this is real happiness. That is in your nature. It is infinite, immeasurable. That is real happiness. Cannot be quantified in terms of appearing happiness. It is Yeah, if I ask somebody, hey, how many, I have got $100 in fake notes, would you like them? No, 100 fake notes, no, I don't want. 1,000? No, still, no, I don't care. 10,000? No, I don't care. Sorry, but no. But a real dollar bill, $20, I can take it, I can use it, yeah. Because that unreals cannot be added to make even one real. Thakur used to say that everything in the world is what? A big blob, zero. Even if you add hundreds of them, they do not become real unless you put one behind it. If you put one behind it, then people would say, why not add one more zero to what you were giving? So it is that makes everything real and full of real bliss. And you can see it in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. I will conclude that because I want to make you happy, So if I conclude fast, then you will become happy. So it is, they suppose, that Sri Ramakrishna, Latu Maharaj was asked this question. This is the story that I am going to tell you, that he was in Benares talking to devotees. In his memoirs, you will find this beautiful incident, that he was asked, Sri Ramakrishna lived such a pure life, just devoted everything to God, and still he has to suffer with such, painful disease like that throat cancer. How much pain it was. Why did he have to suffer? What was the reason? And Latu Maharaj said that one thing let me tell you. What are the causes of that cancer and all will be a later question. And it is statement from that person who was always during that time around Sri Ramakrishna. He is saying that we have never seen Sri Ramakrishna suffering even for a second. He never suffered. He always distributed joy that he had. He was, as we pray in Sri Ramakrishna's meditation mantra, Nityam Ananda Murti, ever full of bliss. So that is Sri Ramakrishna. However full of bliss, he was not bound by this world. So now we know, to summarize, that if we stop our running after many things to get happy, then there is some chance for us to become happy. At least we will not be running in the wrong direction. And then turn to the right direction. Now that is called yoga. Yoga is the practical application of the theory. In Bhagavad Gita, therefore, in the colophon you read that Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre. It is not just theory, but the technology by which those theoretical conclusions can be practically experienced. Yoga is not that it is pronounced, first of all, wrongly, yoga. It is yoga. And then it doesn't constitute just in doing some postures, stand on your head or all. That is okay for your health. Nothing wrong in that. Please don't get me wrong. That it is good, but that forms only infinitesimally small part of this whole science and technology of yoga. What it tells us is that how all that you understand can actually become an experience in life. That is how in Bhagavad Gita that word comes first in the verse, the word yoga, that Esha te abhihita sankhye buddhi yoge tu imam shrunu. That what has been told you as an intellectual understanding, now it is learn from me, hear from me, how that becomes that practical experience for you, and thus the yoga, science of yoga proceeds there. So this is yoga, to follow that path. And since all of us are devotees of Thakur, we have the path already laid out for us, and we will reach the bliss. We will become what? Happy. Thank you. Thank you, friends.